Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you some meals that I made for my large family over the last couple of days. This morning I am making pancakes for breakfast. Carrington is 7 and she asked me the night before if I could make these pancakes, and I told her that she needed to remind me. So if you look behind me, set up on the coffee pot there's a sign that says pancakes on it that she made up as a reminder, so that when I made my coffee in the morning I would remember that she also wanted to have pancakes. I started these before she got out of bed, and she came stumbling out into the kitchen when she realized what I was doing, just so that she could finish helping me make these. I've been trying to use up some of my freeze-dried eggs. If you've been watching for a while, you know that we recently, over a year ago, moved to the city from a farm. And one of my goals before we left the farm was to freeze dry enough eggs that I wouldn't have to purchase eggs while we were in seminary living in the city. But I do still buy eggs because we realized pretty quickly that none of us really care for the freeze-dried eggs whenever they are turned into scrambled eggs. We would much rather have real eggs. I mean, those are real eggs, but you know, eggs in a shell, scrambled up and then cooked whenever we're eating scrambled eggs. But the freeze-dried eggs worked really great to bake with. They also work really well to make a breakfast casserole with like sausage and cheese and eggs. Everyone eats that and doesn't notice that it is made with freeze-dried eggs. So I do use them for baking and for egg casserole, but if we want scrambled eggs, we just get some eggs from the store and crack those into our pan. I was following a recipe for these pancakes out of my home ground flour cookbook, and I used soft wheat, fresh ground flour to make these pancakes. Most of the kids like them. A couple of the kids said they didn't care for them as much, a couple of my picky kids. But the batter was really thin, and I don't know if I didn't measure correctly. I did double the recipe. So maybe I didn't measure correctly, or the flour just didn't soak up as much of the liquid as the recipe thought that it would. But either way, these turned out fine. They were a little bit thin for pancakes, but they will get eaten, and they still taste really good with the butter and syrup on top of them. The kids like to make these little itty bitty pancakes on the side of the pan when I'm cooking the bigger ones. The little itty bitty pancakes get nice and crunchy on the outside, and that is just one of their favorite things to do, is to put little drops of batter all over the pan so that I have to flip over those little tiny pancakes, but they're fun to munch on, that they can just pop them in their mouth and eat them real quick. This time Clayton opted to put butter on all of his teeny tiny pancakes, which took him several minutes, but it was a really good fine motor skill practice for him. And then some of the kids like to have syrup on their pancakes. Some of the other kids prefer to have butter with powdered sugar on top of theirs. And I have the peanut butter sitting out because peanut butter with pancakes and butter and syrup was one of my most favorite things when I was a kid. And none of my kids really like that. Nobody hardly ever opens the peanut butter to put it with their pancakes, but that's something that I enjoy, and it's just a habit that I get that peanut butter out and set it out when we have pancakes. For lunch on this same day, my husband and I ate steak and shrimp. I had some steaks in the fridge that I had set out to thaw over the weekend, and then we never got to eat them, so I decided to make them for lunch for that day. The kids had dinosaur chicken nuggets and tater tots for their lunch, and they thought that was wonderful. That is a special treat for them. We don't eat that kind of food very often, usually just once a week, and so they really enjoy it. And then on this same evening for dinner, I made grilled cheese sandwiches with some hot dog buns that I had gotten for free. I just put American cheese on those and butter the inside of the hot dog bun and then flip them around backwards or inside out whenever I cook them. Kyla made some tomato soup, and then we also had our last bag of pear sauce out of the freezer, some baby tomatoes, some chocolate pudding, and then the sandwiches and the soup for dinner. Lunch today is going to be leftovers for the kids. We've got spaghetti, some pancakes, some rice, one hamburger patty. This is some mac and cheese with hamburger in it and some chocolate pudding. My husband and I are going on a lunch date today, and so the kids are gonna have leftovers. I also have some leftover homemade bread that I'm gonna set over here, and they can warm that up with some butter if they would like. And then somewhere there is a little package of, or a little container of some tater tots and fish sticks, I believe. Or tater tots and probably just tater tots. Someone has hidden them because they want to have them for their lunch. So there's also those they can eat. And then also I've got some hot dog buns up there. If no one wants this stuff, they could make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. For dinner tonight, we're having really simple dinner. I've got a big pot of ground beef that I cooked up, and the kids are gonna have theirs on some tortillas with cheese and salsa and sour cream. My husband, I think, is just gonna have a bowl of ground beef with some cheese in it, and I am making myself some cheeseburger soup. This is a roux of some butter with a little bit of gluten-free flour and some chicken stock and a bit of cream, and then I'm going to add some cheese in there once it comes to a boil and it can melt the cheese down. Then I'll put a couple scoops of hamburger in there, and that's going to be my dinner. I'm not going to eat all of it, I'm pretty sure, but that sounds really good to me, better than just having hamburger. So that is our dinner for the night.